The most damaging thing that has affected the world of dating is the media industry. Everything from TV shows to social platforms. Now that dating has been absorbed by social media, it's no longer an individual expectation of someone, but the masses and entire populations. Like women, men also want to date up. They typically have much less power of choice, like what was said, and thus learn to accept other partners. 2/3 of women in their 20s are in a relationship, whereas 2/3 of men in their 20s are single. Just due to supply and demand, young women have more value and thus power in the dating market. I also think that women are more content being single than men, because it's the social stigma of being a strong, independent woman who doesn't need no man versus the loser virgin dude who has no game that motivates women to stay single, and the other motivates men to not stay single. Women also get more emotional support from family and friends than guys, so they aren't as reliant on a romantic partner for emotional support either. Given the option, people are going to date the best person they can get. It's just women, at least in their 20s, are far more able to do so. I think the fact that a lot of men feel like they have to preemptively low-key simp for women a little before they can safely argue in their own defense or interest speaks volumes about the current dynamic between the genders. Notice women never feel the need to make such pre-concessions. Yeah, that's only something that guys end up doing. The fact that women have the power of choice usually makes them the main culprit. You guys want to tend to, but we know what we can pull, so usually men tend to be more realistic about their choice. The major difference is that a guy is willing to sleep below what he can get, but maybe just for a one-night stand or a very short-term relationship. Girls don't often sleep below, so it's common for a girl to believe she's a few points higher than reality because she finds herself sleeping with guys above her and assuming she is at that level. But eventually, after many failed attempts at scoring a long-term relationship, she settles for someone closer to her level. The fact still remains that average men don't get as many opportunities as average women do. Men can work on themselves, self-improve, and be the best version of themselves they can be, but modern women want to chase the next best option they see, whether it's someone taller, more attractive, richer, or more successful. Rationally speaking, I think there are major issues with what we feel is important while we're younger versus older. By no means is this one size fits all. It sets women up for a lot of failure. When we're younger, women get the idea that their looks are what's important, which is reinforced by younger guys. Guys pick up that if you want these girls, you need money. This is reinforced because having a plan and working toward a better life is attractive. Now, in later life, the guy has a career, is self-sufficient, and a woman's looks aren't the #1 priority anymore. Not for a serious relationship anyway. That's when men start asking, "What do you bring to the table?" Meanwhile, the woman has never really been pushed career-wise. Her beauty has faded, and her options have become more limited. One thing that needs to be mentioned is that there are a lot more women that a top-level man can get at that point in life than men available to women on that level as well. Like most men that I know who have done well and are decent looking, they don't really want women like her. By the time they are well in life, most of them just want an honest and caring woman who has time for him and for the family. If you tell any woman if they'll compromise on certain aspects of a man, if the women are doing very well and are pretty attractive, they'll usually say no. They aren't going to settle down because they know they are worth, and they can get that top man they want. Also, I don't really have an issue with women dating up and having their wants met, or wanting to always be on the pedestal. That's them. They can live life how they want. The issue I have is they complain about it to everyone if it doesn't go well and then go insulting all guys in general. I believe most guys in the 4-6 range wish for a 7 or 8 at best to elevate their self-esteem more, so they can work on self-improvement. As time goes on, this dream still goes on, and the standard for where the girl is goes lower, and the goal changes from "she helps me change" to "let's change together." But there's all kinds of advice online. The biggest problem I see amongst my friends or siblings is unrealistic expectations based on what they see over the internet. Social media has made so many people think they deserve a 9 or 10 on the hot and successful scale. if they focused on genuinely meeting people and looked for people with similar wants and goals, those people they'd find would become a 9 or 10 for them. The worst part about online relationship advice provided by feminists is that it's probably 90–95% by people who do not have successful, long-term relationships or marriages of their own. Sure, there are some out there, but it's the minority, and especially funny when it's the dating and relationship coach who doesn't have a successful relationship. Men deserve more than modern women. Feminists, modern women, girl bosses, and narcissists are a massive turnoff for men. The end of marriage and family has arrived. Who would have predicted that human procreation would end with a whimper like this? Can the end of the world be far behind? Over the last decade, there has been exponential growth in online dating. With the development of new interactive technologies, there has been a sharp increase in the number of people looking for both short and long-term companions online. The emergence of older women on these applications, who now have more digital ways to express their preferences, qualities, and experiences, is one distinctive feature of contemporary online dating. To test this out, I tried my hand at online dating apps. I downloaded a few dating apps. By a few, I mean all of them. What I have discovered is that all the attractive ones were baby mamas. Those that are not out of shape are across multiple apps. Fellas, find a country you like and start visiting there. Most women in other countries dat by reference. This means her friends or family must recommend you. So it's a process that automatically verifies the authenticity of your dating choice. It's not just a guess based on some images and words written about them online. Given the percentage of men versus women on these dating applications, why would any man who is not Chad even pay for these applications? As you all know, women only date up. They don't look for men who are below their socioeconomic status. So, these corporate women are now looking for good-looking men, preferably younger, who are highly successful and earn at least the same amount of money as themselves or more. They're looking for a man who can come into their lives and fulfill their need to have children. The manipulation has already begun. They're not going to wait around for a guy who doesn't want to have children right away. They're women who are focused, and their focus is clear. The men who date them will get manipulated into expediting their agenda because they are seasoned negotiators who know how to persuade through their bodies and emotions. They know they only have a couple of years left to get pregnant, and they're going to bring their A-game to the online dating table. Then we have women who have had their fair share of fame and glory. They have spent the last decade of their prime dating men from different backgrounds, ages, and income brackets. These are the girls every guy wanted in high school. They were the women who frequented bars and nightclubs throughout their 20s and had fling after fling after fling. They enjoyed their lives to the fullest. They broke many hearts and exploited many men to have their way with them. Now, their reality is slowly starting to hit them. They've realized things are not the same anymore. They're getting wrinkles on their faces. Their bodies don't have the strength and agility they once had. They don't get the same amount of attention that they used to get from men. And it is, at this time, it dawns upon them that they might have wasted a good decade doing nothing for their future. They see their female friends getting married and having and raising babies, and their innate nature to give birth and nurture the young takes over. And the cycle repeats, generation after generation. It's not that modern women have to necessarily date average men. The reality is that the above-average men don't want to date these women because they know women's real nature. Thanks for watching The Circle of Kings. As always, we're looking forward to your support. So please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything all kings like yourself need to know.